Not a month seems to go by without another headline linking Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, and each time, it sets off another storm of conversation.
They used to write nothing about me. Now I average probably about 4 or 5 stories a day on the front page. Someday they're going to give me a good one. Watch.
On September 8th, House Democrats dropped a bombshell. They released an image of a letter, complete with a sketch and a signature that looks a lot like Trump's. What's so striking? Well, it's exactly the kind of letter Trump had previously denied writing, even after the Wall Street Journal reported on it earlier this year.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
So where did this come from? Lawyers for Epstein's estate handed it over to the House Oversight Committee after a subpoena. And get this, it wasn't just a loose page. It was part of Epstein's so-called birthday book, a leather-bound collection of letters, notes, and drawings he received for his 50th birthday.
I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
And yes, the note in question was sexually suggestive. Inside a sketch of a woman's torso, it features what looks like a playful back and forth between Trump and Epstein. Here's what it said. And we'll read it in full because it's already sparking huge debate. There must be more to life than having everything.
Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is.
Nor will I, since I also know what it is.
We have certain things in common, Jeffrey.
Yes, we do, come to think of it.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?
As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret.
Now, that's quite a letter. And it matches up with the journal's earlier description, almost word for word. Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the oversight panel, said flat out, "The infamous birthday book is now in our hands, and it's time for Trump to tell the truth and release the Epstein files." Strong words. But the White House? They've pushed back hard. Officials immediately tried to discredit the note, with Trump's deputy chief of staff, Taylor Budowich, even posting a different version of Trump's signature on X. His point? That the one in the letter was fake. In his words, time for News Corp to open that checkbook. It's not his signature. Defamation. Yes. All caps.
They have dialed in on that. I'm told that it's fake.
Here's where it gets complicated, though. While Trump nowadays signs both his first and last name, for years he often used just Donald with a flourish at the end. And when people compared this note to a 1995 letter with his old signature, they looked awfully similar. Still, Trump has doubled down, saying, the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake.
It's fake, phony, fake.
He's also pointed out that the drawing isn't his work either, claiming, "These are not my words, not the way I talk." And he didn't just stop at denial. He's filed a massive $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal's parent company, News Corp, its reporters, and even Rupert Murdoch himself. Meanwhile, the rest of Epstein's birthday book was also released. And let's just say the content was disturbing. A mix of explicit sketches, photos, and letters from some very high-profile figures. We're talking about contributions from Bill Clinton, billionaire Leon Black, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, the current British ambassador to the US Peter Mandelson, and Les Wexner, to name just a few. Oh, and the prologue, written by Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell. It paints a pretty troubling picture of just how many powerful people were tied into Epstein's orbit. And that's why this story keeps snowballing.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Why so defensive, Donald? It almost feels like there's more to the story than he's letting on. Let's rewind a bit. Trump and Epstein weren't just acquaintances, they were buddies. Their friendship goes back decades, with both men living it up between New York and Palm Beach. There are photos, flight records, and yes, parties. A lot of them. They were spotted together at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club and dining in Epstein's lavish Manhattan mansion. In 2002, Trump told New York Magazine, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with." And then added, "Brace yourself." It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Yikes. There's also that 1992 NBC clip from Mar-a-Lago, where Trump and Epstein are seen pointing at women on the dance floor like they're picking items off a menu. That same year, Trump reportedly hosted a calendar girl competition at the resort. According to George Haraney, who helped organize it, 28 girls flew in for the event, only to find out that the only guests were Trump and Epstein.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress is.
But somewhere along the way, the bromance soured. By 2004, Trump and Epstein were reportedly rivals, both trying to snatch up prime Palm Beach real estate. No one knows exactly what happened, but the vibe clearly changed. By 2019, after Epstein's arrest, Trump was keeping his distance, saying, "I was not a fan. I had a falling out with him a long time ago." Trump has always insisted he had nothing to do with Epstein's shady dealings. He claimed he never flew on the infamous private jet or visited the private island. But then, the flight logs came out, and according to those, Trump flew with Epstein 7 times.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
Yes, I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Then there's Virginia Giuffre, an Epstein survivor who tragically took her own life in April 2025. She said she was working at Mar-a-Lago as a locker room attendant when Ghislaine Maxwell recruited her. Also, former model Stacey Williams told The Guardian last year that Epstein took her to Trump's Fifth Avenue penthouse back in 1993, and then encouraged Trump to grope her. She called it a twisted game. Trump denies it ever happened. But what really sent eyebrows flying were the recordings released by journalist Michael Wolff. In tapes from 2017, Epstein described himself as Donald's closest friend for 10 years. He painted a pretty grim picture. Trump yelling at staff, womanizing, friendless except for Ivanka, his secretary, and a bodyguard.
Horrible.
According to Epstein, Trump was almost functionally illiterate and only read the Page 6 gossip column. Ouch.
He's not functionally illiterate. But his reading comprehension is anything complicated.
But the part that's likely to stir up the most outrage? Epstein's claims about Trump's behavior with women. He said Trump once bragged after an encounter in an Atlantic City casino, "The only thing I really like to do is wives of my best friends." Charming.
He does nasty things to his best friends' wives. Anyone who first tries to gain the trust and loses it.
Of course, Trump's campaign team pushed back hard. His former press secretary Caroline Leavitt called the tapes outlandish false smears and accused Wolff of trying to interfere in the election, on behalf of Kamala Harris, no less.